Good evening, snipers. I hope you all are having an amazing weekend. I I just tend to say that, but obviously, so much blood in the long-term accounts, long-term portfolios, 401k accounts, and all that. It's just exhausting. But irrespective, like I said last week, I hope you all are having a good time looking at your small accounts and trying to figure out how you're trading with me on most of these accounts, right? Basically, I am trying to give you the number of contracts, trying to show you the risk management involved in all of these trades, and a lot of positive feedback from the community. And I'm very happy with that. I will continue to do this because this is something that is very personal to me because it happened to me in 2018 where back then $60,000 was a lot of money for me, and I did end up uh, I was up $60,000 that year and ended up red for the year. It was not a huge red, but then like when you have 60,000 up for the year, and in December I lost a lot. Partly the reason why I said, hey, I will only be focusing and helping you out with these small accounts. And I'm very happy to see these trade logs as well, where people are actually doing well in this market with their small accounts and trading accounts. Obviously, investment accounts, we are invested in the market with a horizon of about 5 to 7 years anyway. So I'm not as concerned per se on that because our account is back to 2024 lows, which is okay in some sense. But when I was like looking at things over the weekend, and I was like, oh, it just took 3 weeks to wipe out an entire years of gains, or things like that. I just felt like, oh, something's crushing me. But it is okay, I've seen this in 2016, I've seen this in 2018, 2020. Obviously I was not as leveraged as I am right now. Obviously, I made my first million in 2020 during a dip like this. So a lot many millionaires to be formed in 2025 again, 26, 27. Probably people will be talking about hindsight 2025, why did I buy the dip, etc. And it will be that again, like market is an instrument to transfer the money from the impatient to the patient, and that's essentially what will happen again in 2025, I feel. But right now, as things stand, it's definitely very painful, it's definitely very hard to see what's happening. All right. Without further ado, let me get into these. Start talking about, the markets, and we'll talk about our weekly seasonality, all these things, and we'll go from there. Let me quickly switch on to my screen. All right, this is our Discord again. I will be talking about the small account, like again and again and again. I keep telling you this. Obviously, we had another winner on Nike, but I had some folks saying, how do I identify a small account versus a main account? Like I keep telling you this, right? This exclamation here is what will tell you if it was a small account trade or not. I bought Nike also on Friday, which is a winning trade. I'm not saying it, I'm not denying it's not a winning trade. I bought it at 0.6, sold it at 1.8, but it was not a small account trade. For a small account trade, look for that exclamation points. Look for the number of contracts that I buy, and that's like we are at 9,000 from 5,000 now. My goal is to hit 50,000. So we will try to hit as much. We will try to get there together, and grow our accounts as and how we can. So just be mindful of that. Look at that alert, and see that it's for the small account. So that's mostly what I wanted to talk about a little bit. Obviously, I have a lot of things asking me, how do I get into this 400k fund that you just started? Again, this is an LLC that we are forming. It's not formed yet. Like, I have so many people come to dinner to me with me on Saturday. They were like, why don't you just start a fund? Like, why don't you start investing things and all that? For us also, like, how you manage your long-term portfolio. Like, I have a few very close friends, and they don't invest in the stock market. They're pretty well off in the real estate market. So now they are like, okay, we'll put in like 100 grand each, and we'll start from there. So that's why we are like forming that up. But because we are starting that, I also was all telling folks like, why, like if you it's a 400K fund. Like if you start with $400, why don't you start with the same amount of, like, $4,000? I mean, why don't you start with the same ratios or something, and over the years you can keep building on it. But next year, I'm very certain, like, we have formed some beautiful relationships in this in this trading community now. A lot of folks have been around for 2 to 3 years, so I'll open the fund up, and like we'll probably look for more people to join in us in 2026. So that's mostly it. So don't ask me to where do I send the money, how do I send the money, and all that. I'm not asking you for any money. I want to show you in real time, like, like how I kind of show you my account. I want to show you how this investment also works over time, and how you can grow your accounts per se. So that's mostly what I'm trying to do there. But anyway, let's focus on what's up for next week. We start off with our weekly seasonality. Weekly seasonality again. It is not a prediction of what's going to happen in the future. It's a mere projection of and statistics as to what has happened in the past. So right now, I would say weekly seasonality is Monday. Looks like Nasdaq is 33% of this times green. That means we have a blood red Monday. And obviously, you are seeing the futures, you are seeing the panic in the market, but there's a huge rebound that shows up on Tuesday with Nasdaq 62% of the time green, S&P 62, and Dow also 67% of the time. Wednesday again, any number under 40 over 60 is something that I take a little bit more seriously, right? So Wednesday, it's a coin flip, 43, 48, 48, 48, and 43. So it's mostly a coin flip. But then again, Tuesday looks like there is a massive bounce with 67% of the time being green on Thursday on the Nasdaq, and 52% on the Dow, with 62 overall on S&P. And then Friday, again, an iffy day, 52, 52, 43. Not much to gather from the weekly seasonality, but there are 2 days in this week which have a very strong possibility of a bounce. And I know a lot of folks say, oh, this is so easy to predict. The market is just going to go down every single day. That's not what happened to me in 2018. I'll tell you this, like I've done one day of green, one day of red, one day of green, one day of red, and one day of a massive bounce, and then all my puts got wiped out. It's very similar that can happen here also. Like, that is why I'm trying to tell you that this is a day-to-day market. This is a market where you have to be ready for anything to happen, and you want to be a little bit more uh, involved in your trading as well. With investing, I understand there's pain, but that pain will eventually go out, and and you will have market hitting new all-time highs again. But right now there's a lot of fear, and let that fear all sink in. Let it all subside. Let it definitely will. VIX will also settle down. Everything will settle down. The same thing happened in 2022. Everybody said all these companies will never see their all-time highs, and Amazon, Google, Meta, Tesla, Apple, everything started making new all-time highs in 2020 after 2022 dip. So it will happen again. I'm not saying it won't happen, but you have to endure this pain to make that money also in the long term. So just understand that, and this is our weekly seasonality right now. On the earnings calendar, there's nothing much that I can talk about. Obviously, the banks are going to kick off their earnings on Friday. I'll have to see how that thing goes. I'm all I'm seeing all through the flow is all bearish. Like, everybody is just loading up on puts, on these heavy puts that they are on. I don't know how the earnings season is going to happen. Just way too much volatility right now. But as we get closer to Friday, I'll have a better view on how the positioning on JPM and Wells Fargo is. These are two companies that I kind of keep track of on my database. So I will definitely let you know how the bank earnings look like going into here. But I will tell you this, that Delta, DAL, um, DAL, AAL, and CCL, uh, travel stocks in general, they have been having some way out the money calls being bought for May, which which is kind of weird. I mean, all through the dip, they have been buying those calls. They're pretty cheap because these are low IV stocks, and and also they are pretty cheap stocks too. But just the fact that they are buying those way out the money contracts. I'm not sure what's going to come in for these travel stocks. Maybe some news, maybe something on the earnings. I don't know, but definitely a lot of call buying on travel stocks. So keep an eye out for that. I will be posting out a few of these high OI, or OI meaning open interest, positions in our game plan channel later today or midweek. I don't trade these stocks per se, but it's good to keep track of them and like see what's happening. And when there is a news or something, we kind of know that they are already positioned in it, and we can probably play some weekly positions to hit a quick scalp or a quick move on these stocks to make some money. But I'll definitely give you those long-term contracts as well, so keep an eye out for that on the game plan channel. Next one here, obviously we have the FOMC minutes. FOMC minutes this week are the top of the list, I would say. But at the same time, these are not this month's minutes. They are the minutes from last month, when we had Powell talk after that as well. But that is why there is no Powell presser this week after FOMC. We had Powell talk last week. I was telling you when he was talking also, he was absolutely bearish. Some of the things that he has said are the recession is not part of the Fed's mandate. They did not have that in their in their base case or whatever. But now the external factors are going to make it possible, or he said they cannot account for the external factors to induce a recession, and that is something that is kind of very concerning when you hear that from a Fed president. And and that is something that I don't want. That and that has he also actually very blatantly mentioned that there is a lot of uncertainty and lot of how would I say, growth suppression that might happen in the markets, and which he's concerned about as well. Will he cut rates? He said we are Fed was very well positioned to say, okay, we will not be cutting rates. We will not, he didn't say we will not be cutting rates, but then he said they are well positioned to wait, patiently wait to see when they can cut rates. And right now, he also said the Fed mandate was was fair and all that, and like external factors might also increase inflation, and that's also the reason why they are going to be more patient about cutting rates. So which again, everything is just not aligning, and it is bearish. All the news is bearish, so you want to be a little bit more careful around investing a lot of money in also. So you probably have to go 10-15% now, again on a dip, 10-15% again dip, 10-15% again. So I'll show you how I'll do it on that 400K fund that we are creating. It's not created yet. It will take some time. I think it will take mid this week. The A friend is working on creating it, but but we'll see where things go. Also, and this week you also have quite a few things actually. Like I will tell you that FOMC minutes, that's one. CPI, where's PPI? PPI. These are your top three that you want to look out for this week. Other than that, you also have a lot of Fed speakers. Look at Daly, Kugler, Williams, and like there's a lot of Fed speakers coming out as well. That's another one that you want to look out for, and obviously Barkin also. And last but not the least, you also have the consumer sentiment, Michigan consumer sentiment, which has been extremely bad. Last week, if you look at the ISM manufacturing index, it just was terrible. So all macro data is terrible. Powell wants to wait. Everybody's like talking about recession odds about being over 50%, which is currently, I think today is 66% on Calci. So just the news itself is terrible, terrible, terrible. Like there is nothing that's really good to talk about in this market environment. um it will pass, I'm pretty sure it will pass, but um right now you just have to be careful, make it a day-to-day market. Trade during those specific windows I'm talking about to trade, and just get out of the market. And that $200 a day for the small account is what my goal is, and we are hitting it off very beautifully. Actually, we did 500 and 600 also last week. So like you want to stick to your goals, be extremely disciplined. This is the time where discipline comes into play, and you want to be, you enforce yourself, build that fortitude, and you will be extremely successful when the market starts to get much better, and to make a lot more money. Right now you make money, but you should be on the defensive end. You should not be aggressive per se. Also, having said that, I also want to tell you that if you have a bigger account, like a margin account, not a cash account per se, the best things to do in this type of market is to sell calendar spreads. Is to buy calendar spreads. Sorry to say sell calendar spreads. To buy calendar spreads, what I mean by calendar spreads is you sell the near term volatility to buy the longer term volatility, in the sense that if you think for tomorrow, let's say we are going to say, so I think Nvidia broke under 100 or something, right? So the next target was 89. So what you can do is you can buy 85 or 85 or 90 put for next week, and then sell 85 or 90 put for this week. So you are definitely trying to play the downside, but then you are also taking advantage of the selling the short term volatility for the and buying the longer term volatility. So that's how you can make quite a bit of money also in this market. In this market, usually calendar spreads is what kind of makes you good money per se. So just a reminder, if you really like playing spreads per se. So I will be posting it out also for larger accounts on the game plan channel, but otherwise just follow my small account and you will be fine. That's essentially what I'll try to tell you. um Having said that, now let's get into the charts. I don't want to go into individual charts. I don't want to talk about, oh, buy this here, buy this there. I just don't know where to buy yet. But I will be buying them at some pivotal levels whenever I see some good buy volumes. Whenever people talk about a certain stock, and I do have good mentors also who buy long term stuff. So when I get some tips around with them, and I will let you know. But otherwise, right now I don't see anything happening. Let me actually get into the weekly time frame. I want to see where we are. Okay, here. So weekly time frame, I was telling you about that 524 level, right? Like once we broke that 543, I was telling you about 524. Now 488, which is somewhere up here, right? Like 488 is somewhere up here, is what was clearly open again. But right now, if that 488 is also broken, we go all the way down here. Like this is actually, there is one at, yeah, 488 or 480. This is where I was talking about. And then we go all the way down to like 456, 457. So there's a lot of drop that could happen, and like looking at the weekly chart, it's just a massive dump, I would say, and this is very similar to how we dumped here also, like in a matter of just a few weeks, we just lost 50%, right? Like remember this drop? This was the COVID drop. Actually 30, actually a little bit more, close to 50% is, yeah, about 35% is how much we lost there. And right now, where are we? We are, let's go from here. Let me draw that down too, just so that we know where we are. We are only at 17%, but if it's 30%, let's say, it's going all the way down to 440-ish. So there's there's quite a bit of drop that is possible there, and I mean, it is. Oh God, that's so painful to say. Like looking at all of that 440, 440, 444. Those are levels that I've never imagined I would see in 2025, at least until 2030. I mean, I never thought I would see something like that, but Trump made it happen. But that's the market. Like, I'm not complaining. I'm definitely not complaining. I'm just in an awe that something like that is actually happening. Also, let's see if we can draw some trend lines. See if we can come up with a nice little cool trend line where the dip can. All right, this is a nice cool trend line. So yeah, I mean, all right, this is 2020 low. Is this 2022 low? Yeah, is it 2022 low? This is 2023 low. Okay. So a significant trend line. It is a significant trend line, right? Every year's market correction hit this trend line before it went all the way higher. So yeah, that's where it's at. Like 488, that's where it was at. 488, 485, that's where I got that level also from. Um, yeah, if that breaks, God, I can't even imagine that this thing breaking right now. It, yeah. God, if that breaks, I mean, all hell breaks loose. I mean, what is a measured move here? Uh, would probably look at. Wait, let me see. All right, this one. Let's see if I can draw that upper trend line also, so that like, let's say this is the upper trend line, right? Like, let's say this is the upper trend line. Obviously, I'm not drawing it precisely, but let's say that's the rising wedge, and I'm just going to see what's possible here. 130 points. So that yeah, measured move comes all the way down to 350 or 340. Oh wow, it actually comes all the way down to the COVID highs. Like, yeah, it actually falls down all the way down to COVID highs. That's how much of a drop that could happen if this trend line is broken. Let's see at the end of this week, we'll reassess, see where things stand. But if this trend line is broken all the way to COVID highs, I mean, pre-COVID highs is where the target can go up to. Okay, okay, that's kind of insane. But I mean, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to tell you anything otherwise. But also, in a news cycle like this, technical analysis also can be thrown out of the window. Honestly, like the measured moves don't really work. Everything that I see is very, very bearish. That's all I can tell you. But don't be freaked out by the whole measured move thing that I just talked about, because there's a little issue there. So but I mean, that's essentially where we can go up to. But anyway, or the reason why I was also talking about on Friday that if we close off at the day low on Friday, we will see another huge gap down is basically because we ended up having an island top. We talked about this island top when we go this whole region above, this whole price action above right now is all an island top, and it is extremely bearish pattern. I would not want to be long in this kind of scenario. I will be quick in my playing my calls or my puts. But every kind of bounce is sell the bounce kind of scenario as long as this island top is remaining open. So be careful about it and play as much as you want. As like every bounce until that island top is completely filled, we will still remain in a downtrend in the short term, mid term, and in a mid to long term sense as well. And every bounce will be a dead cat bounce to be knocked down lower. But also remember that in a market like this, in a bear market that we are entering right now, the bounces will be so violent that any kind of puts that you carry forward or you swing, they'll get just absolutely cratered if there is that dead cat bounce. So that is why I'm trying to tell you, go after day to day, make that money. If you make an extra amount of money, put that money towards the puts and you will make some good money. If they go to zero, it's totally fine. That is how you want to play this market. And now, like I said, on the weekly time frame, we will be looking at that trend line, which basically goes through the 2020, 2022, 2023 lows. And if that trend line is not like if that trend line does not hold by the end of this week, we will be probably looking for more puts to the downside to play to towards you know like 440 and all these bull gaps that are open. Look at all these bull gaps that are open from way, 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 way back. And all these bull gaps can actually create some support uh, to create those violent dead cat bounces. But right now, the market is just so bad, and the VIX is so high, premiums are so high. You want to be quick, you want to be more involved in the market. It's not like market that we had in November, December, and January and February until mid of actually the end of February we were cruising. March we struggled a little bit, and end of like the second half of March we adapted, did really well. Now we are back doing really well in April also because of the how we adapted. But follow those small accounts and you will be okay with playing these bounces, these big violent bounces or the drawdowns in the market, and you'll be fine. But this is like heavy selling, heavy liquidation, margin calls hitting all over the place. So every bull gap now, the we have the next bull gap at around 485, 480, will act as support. Again, we have another one at 476. 476, 477, which will act as support. So you will probably see a lot more pain like that, and then go back down, go back up, again go back down, go back up. All these bull gaps will act as support, but they will also create these violent bounces for you to play to the upside, and you can probably play the market uh, on those bounces as well. So be aware of that, a clean downtrend that's happening in the market. And I'm not trying to scare you. On a day-to-day market, make money on your trading, it's fine. With investing, we'll figure out and we'll see how to average down on those shares that we hold. And also we sell CSPs, which is a great tool to also average your shares down. So we will do that. Just be aware that we have to endure this pain in the short term, and we'll get through it together, and we'll do well in a mid to long term sense. So uh, that's what I have on SPY. Let me talk a little bit on QQQ and IWM, and I will wrap up the call with that. I don't want to talk about individual stocks. I Again, tomorrow I'll be on live on our Discord live channel. We'll discuss a little bit more about the stocks and which ones to pile into. Like I'll be making a you know what we call it, a plan for that 400k account. I'll be talking through my ideas and things like that. But again, QQQ, very nasty. 400 is something that is possible. Obviously 407, 408, there's another bull gap that's open. We probably will hit that pre-market, like probably will hit that pre-market. I don't know where QQQ is. We'll probably hit that pre-market, and then if we open somewhere here, we'll probably hit a bounce and then head back lower. Like I've been saying, right? Like every bull gap will act as support, but that bounce will be short-lived. It will be violent, it will be big, but it will be short-lived to get back lower. As long as these island tops are very bad, are open, it is going to be uh, I would say it is going to be a bear market. I'll say every bounce is an opportunity to go and sell puts or sell cup. In my world, it's more about every bounce is good to sell covered calls. That's how I take it. In in a bear's book, it's always about every bounce is an opportunity to short the market down, which I'm not. I don't short the market. I just like the market just going up, ripping up. That's everybody makes money. Everybody's happy. Even with this drawdown, right? Like the reason why I'm not as excited as I was in January or February is because trading account is doing really well. I mean, but I'm just offsetting all the gains that I've made in with the losses that I'm making in my long-term portfolio. I know in my mind it's I did not sell it, it's unrealized, but then in my mind it always lingers around that I'm making money here, but then I'm losing money there. So it's a net to net zero or a negative, because long-term portfolios are also bigger, right? So it is that conflicting ideas that I'm having, and I'm not very excited about this drawdown per se. It's great. Our trading accounts are doing really good, but like it's just that mental, you get what I mean. Like it's just not as exciting as it was in January, because in January my long-term portfolio was going up crazy high. Trading account was going 100k a week, which is which is even better, right? Like wait, like it is what it is. But again, this week, 407, 404, these are your levels that you want to look out for. Under that is 400. If 400 is broken, we have 388 wide open to attack for the bear. So those are your four levels to the downside here on QQQ. Next one is IWM. I seriously don't have any levels for IWM here. I wouldn't even look into it. But I mean, 162 is wide open. 170 and 162. These are your two levels that you like. I'll draw some levels and I'll post out this chart. But 160, just by looking at it, 160 and 170 and 162 ish. 160 to 163 are wide open for for the bears to attack here on IWM. Under that is going to be extremely bad. I mean, IWM has been in range for quite a bit. Actually, look at this. Look at this. We actually dropped below that. Okay, so 2020 low, 23 low, and we are under. Like that trend line actually broke down. So yeah, I mean, it looks terrible on IWM, and not to scare you again, I would stay away from IWM. I kind of have like 60k worth of 70k worth of TNA shares, which uh, I just want to get rid of those. But I mean, it's a small position. I took it, like I had a TNA shares that we bought. Like I made like 150k last year, and then I put 70k back in, and freaking thing just never went green after that. But yeah, this thing broke down. Nothing bullish about IWM at all. Like it just broke down. Um, Here 170, I was just talking to you about that 170, and then you have 160, 170, 160. These are your two drops that can happen here on IWM, and it can be very quick as well. 169, 170, 169. So keep an eye out for that on IWM as well. Last but not the least, I'll also talk about Bitcoin, and we can wrap up the call. I'm not going to talk about individual stocks like I usually do. I don't even have a trade idea for the week because it's already gapped down. What are you going to do? Right. But anyway, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin a little bit. Um, Bitcoin. Look at this trend line. This is the trend line that you want to make sure to break and close above on a day on the day, which never happened, right? We had that breakthrough. We saw that it was going through a peekaboo, but then this was the day, the liberation day. This is what happened, and we are seeing a pretty nasty drop here on Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin can move all the way to 74 here on this drop today, and under 74 is yeah. I mean, there's quite a bit of drop that can happen here on Bitcoin. 74 is definitely possible, very easily possible. 74, 70, 74 to 70, that's very easily possible. Underneath is 65. Um, Also in 2022, splash news, Bitcoin actually went to like, I think it's 21 or 22. Actually 21, not 22. I think mid part of 21 is when I remember we went all the way down to like this one was, yeah, this one, I think 2020 definitely we went down to 6,000 or so. I remember buying it there. But yeah, here 15,000 or so. This was in 22. So it went down went down to 15,000. That's like about a drop of 76%, right? This can happen again. I'm not even kidding. This can go all the way down to 25. I mean, I'm not trying to scare you again. I just feel there can be a bigger drop here on Bitcoin. If the market is falling off so hard, Bitcoin can fall off very similarly. I just feel like, once that 70 barrier is taken out, we have like 60, and after that is yeah, 60, and after that you just don't have any support until like 30, 33, 35. So that is, I mean, that there can be that big of a drop on Bitcoin, squeeze out Sailor from MSTR out of his positions before it actually bounces right back higher. So you know, again, this call is not to scare you or anything like that. I'm just trying to give you a picture of what can happen if there is a drop like what people are talking about. And as per me, like I don't want to sound extra bullish as well. As per me, I'm just going to hold on to my positions and see where things go. If if the stock market is going to fall as much, I think real estate market will also fall the similar way. It's just going to help me. It's going to help all of us to buy better homes, and probably buy our first homes as well. So I mean, again, people definitely call me extremely optimistic and things like that, but you have to make best of what the situation is. And I would not recommend crying around, trying to blame someone for what's happening. You will find a lot of opportunities in a drawdown like this, and we will all make a lot of money. So don't panic, be patient, trade your options trading accounts, make the money there, offset the losses that you're having, unrealized losses that you're having on your long-term account, and we'll be fine in a year or two. You look back and say, just like how people were saying hindsight 2020, hindsight 2020, you will see people saying the same thing, hindsight liberation day, or hindsight 2025. And every dip like this, every fear like this definitely gives a lot of opportunity for new millionaires, new minds to come back into the market, and and make that generational wealth. So be patient, don't panic, don't be that person who is running around as if their hair is on fire. But I hope you all have an amazing weekend. I will see you guys again. I'll be on voice tomorrow morning, and we will snipe out the market. Your small accounts are safe if you follow my follow whatever we are posting every day. And I'm very happy with seeing most of your trading accounts go up like that. But